The Batman. Now, before I review the movie, I gotta address the title, which is exactly like the most underrated cartoon of all time, The Batman animation of the early 2000s. If you haven't watched that show, you should immediately try it out, especially if you're a DC fan. In that cartoon, we get an early representation of Batman, but above all, we get to see younger Bruce Wayne. Finally, Bruce is a young guy who enjoys life and is surrounded by friends and women. His relationship with Alfred is the best in any media, and we even get a brand new Clayface. But enough about the Batman animated version. Let's talk about the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I love Twilight. I love Twilight. I love Edward Cullen, and I like how he sparkles in the sunlight. He's a complete badass. Even here, Robert Pattinson is pale as a vampire, which should be thematic considering he's only acting during the night and mostly sleeps during the day. I also like how he has this emo playboy hair, making him look younger and damaged, kinda like Joker from Suicide Squad. Jared Leto was a short fuckboy, acting all evil and talking about pain and love. Man, I wish the Jared Leto Joker would be antagonist in the new Batman movie. Imagine Robert Pattinson fighting Jared Leto. Damn, that would be awesome. Talking about the Joker, there's a Joker in this movie, however he only makes a brief appearance at the end. I like the riddle he gave. The less you have, the more valuable they are. My response, right there in the cinema, was money. You know, cause the less currency on the market, the more powerful and valuable each bill of cash is. But yeah, the answer was friends, and I'm a horrible person. Now let's talk about what worked in the movie. Well, the visuals were incredible, especially those dark corners, which were brilliant, and they gave you a feeling of dread and fear by not knowing if Batman hides in those shadows. The first reveal was well timed with the soundtrack, and the whole atmosphere was perfect for a badass introduction of the new version of The Dark Knight. I'll say it right now, this is the best looking Batman ever put on screen. I love the mask, it makes him look more manly and even cartoonish at times. Also, the suit is badass. The armor is practical and put to good use, as many people, and even police officers, shoot at him with devastating firepower. I think a Batman immune to bullets make him more of a superhero. He also flies at one point, but sadly gets his rape stuck and falls to the ground. The Batman voice is better. No more crazy mumble, Christian Bale expression either. The Nolan Batman was kinda stupid. His face was so dumb crazy. I just can't take him seriously. Patterson found a way to sound cool and look interesting and look intimidating in the same time. The thing that did not work is the action. The combat is fine, but man, it's kinda lame compared to other action flicks like John Wick. I've seen better, so yeah. Otherwise, Catwoman is hot with a wig on. With short hair, she's okay, but still, I wish she had longer hair. Also, the romance between her and Batman, it felt kind of forced. I mean, in the cartoons, Batman does try to flirt with her, or more or less with Selena Kyle. But here, Patterson seemed kinda stale. Considering he was Edward Cullen, romance should have been easy for him. Yet his performance is kinda stale and awkward around Selena Kyle. This movie took heavy inspiration from Seven and Batman: The Long Halloween. A serial killer at the beginning of Batman's career, the Falcone as the main mobster, and a crusader villain who hunts the victims based on their sins, is a flawless combination of those movies. Wish would have had Harvey Dent in this movie, as the persecutor alongside Jim Gordon. In the Long Halloween animation, he's also working with Batman. The movie has some pacing problems, and the premise of him moving from one crime scene to another started to feel kinda I was starting to feel kind of distantiated with the whole story. However, once the killer connects his vendetta to Batman's parents, I was completely focused on the film. We don't get to see the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne. However, their murder and political career are heavily exploited to add to Batman's backstory in a meaningful way. This was brilliant storytelling, and it fixed a lot of issues an origin movie would have around the superhero. The Penguin was okay, the performance was great, you can see the actor had a blast playing him, and it worked well in the movie. The Riddler not so much. When he was trying to be crazy on a tape, he was a desperate mass caricature, trying his best to beat Heath Ledger's crazy memorable performance, but failed to capture intensity and dread of the fallen actor. The last scene with Batman and the Riddler is rather good. I actually got uncomfortable witnessing a sick, crazy person ranting about society, orphans, and most of all, justice. The Riddler is too much of a copycat of the Kevin Spacey character from Seven for me not to have an issue with him. You just cannot top that performance with the calm and murderous demeanor. My favorite moment in the movie is the chase scene with the Penguin. The Batmobile is perfectly implemented into the story and has a practical reason for Batman to use as he apprehends Gotham villains. The whole chase scene was so damn visually amazing, it taps most Fast and Furious climaxes. The nice shot with Batman walking while firing his back was the most memorable moment in the movie. Another interesting scene was when Batman is captured by the police and questions their loyalty towards the law, calling cops corrupt to their face. With such a vigilante badass move, it made Batman look fearless. I give the Batman an 8 out of 10. This is a great movie, surpassed only by Dark Knight. Otherwise, Pattinson gave a memorable performance in a noir movie about the underlife of Gotham City.